I'm Giovanni Gallucci, and we are talking about social media and how you can use social media and social networking to enhance your online marketing initiatives. And right now, during this chapter, we're going to talk about presence applications. Now, in previous classes and chapters, we've talked about text. We had some conversations about chat rooms and instant messaging applications. And we've also talked about text and SMS applications. What presence applications do is they take some of the characteristics of text messaging and SMS and chat rooms and combine them with some of the aspects of networking and communities and social applications. So let's talk about some of the details of what makes up a presence application. Essentially, what these are applications that allow you to do micro-blogging. And some of them are location-based services, and we'll talk about a couple of the differences here. But essentially what you do whenever you're using one of these applications is you send updates or messages into the system with a very limited number of characters available to you. Typically on these you have about 140, 160 characters available. On one of them, Twitter, I believe the limitation is like 116 characters. These messages can go out through the web. They can go to websites. They can go through applets like widgets and be deployed anywhere on the web. Typically, these applications have their own websites where they have a constant stream of messages that show up. They can be sent through email. They can sent through instant messaging applications and even through text and SMS systems. One of the interesting things about the microblogging platforms or the presence applications is that the ones that we're going to look at today also have a very strong, rich community built around them as well. There's four primary ones that are out on the market as of the taping of this class. We're talking about Twitter, Pounce, Haiku, and Dodgeball. Now, Twitter and Haiku are fairly similar in nature. They're basically applications built through a community where the members of the community send really short messages to each other. Pounce is similar to those, but Pounce has some more advanced features, and they allow you to send files through the system as well. So you actually can do some file sharing on there as well, and there's some other features there. Now, Dodgeball, which is actually the first presence application that I became familiar with, and I believe it's owned by Yahoo now, is its intention when it was deployed was to do what these other applications are doing for the most part, which is sending these very quick SMS-based messages to users on different platforms. But the intention with Dodgeball was that it was focusing on a specific niche of people that would go out a lot, go out to eat, like to socialize quite a bit. And the way they intended it to be used was if I was to go to a restaurant or to a bar and I wanted my friends to show up where I was at, I would send a message to Dodgeball, and the people within the community, my friends that were signed up to my network or my community, would get a text message or a notification through email that said, hey, Geo is over at, whatever bar that I was at or whatever restaurant was at, and he'd love for you to stop by and join him. Now, one interesting thing about Dodgeball is that it allows you to do this to people within your network, and if you signed up and had your profile set up and you were within a certain radius of that restaurant or that location that the message was being sent from, then you would also get a message. So it allowed you to kind of open up your network as well. Going beyond those types of presence applications, and I don't have it listed on here, but there's also an application that's called Jambo, which actually doesn't run on a SMS type of a system the same way that these do. It does use SMS technology, but it's different in the background. But Jambo and its cousin iNearby are applications that are based on a very tight integrated location. So if I was at a conference or a seminar and I logged into Jambo, it doesn't matter who's on my friend list within Jambo. It finds everybody that is using that same network, and it lets me see everyone. So it's a discovery tool that allows you to build a community based upon your immediate vicinity. And they, like I said, they've got Jambo and they have one called iNearby. They both have very similar features. And those are neat to check out if you're one that travels a lot, goes to a lot of events, and you want to be able to find people within those locations. But let's go and look at some of these actually on the web. Actually, before we go look at them, I want to talk about users really quickly because this will be a fast conversation. All of these platforms are even in terms of the internet, are pretty new platforms. Dodgeball has been around for quite a while, but it didn't get huge adoption. Twitter, when it came on the scene, was the one that kind of broke the doors open and just started getting tons and tons and tons of users on it. So, and Twitter's only been around and actively been being used really in 2007. So it's difficult to go out there and find information on user demographics. There's really I couldn't find any formal studies that would give us a hint of what we're looking at as far as the user base. It's probably not too hard to stretch or too much of a stretch to look at some of the other similar types of applications and make some educated assumptions. If we go back to the chapters where I talk about the user base on instant messaging, chat, general communities, you should look through a lot of these and see some trends and see some similarities. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we probably have a decent number of females using these applications as well as males, and I'd probably even say that when it comes to Twitter, based upon what I've seen, it's probably a pretty high number, like 30 to 40%. The user base is probably young to middle age. I couldn't really look and identify too many folks that would fall, in the boomer or senior level. There are some out there using these networks, but I don't see them. And I think that when it comes to, what types of interests these folks may have, you're looking at everybody across the gamut. Twitter especially attracts all kinds of different people, so don't make the assumption that this is a platform where you're just going to reach out and touch high-tech folks. I mean, there's people that have nothing to do with the IT industry and wouldn't be concerned or considered as geeks or nerds. I mean, these are folks that are business people, everyday folks, students with all kinds of interests. So it's a good platform to reach out to a diverse community and get access to folks that can give you immediate access back. One thing that's give you immediate response back.